Welcome everybody. Let's take a look at the coolest telescope in the world. Yeah, of course I mean James Webb telescope. So here is the video from NASA Live channel, which is recorded in the beginning of 2022. Let's look at some of the parameters of James Webb telescope. First of all is the distance of the satellite from the Earth, which is about 1,200,000 kilometers. Here is a comparison between its distance from the Earth compared to Moon and the Hubble telescope. And you can see how crazy it's far away from the Earth. The Moon is about 400,000 kilometers away from Earth, and the Hubble telescope is about 570 kilometers from the Earth. This picture is again from the NASA website, and the reason is that the distance is mentioned 1.5 million kilometers is because first the distance of the telescope is not constant from the Earth, and the second is that right now the telescope is not reaching an orbit destination. Also here is another example. The closest planet to Earth, which is Venus, is about 40 million kilometers away from Earth. At around 89% of its distance complete, the telescope has a cruising speed of 0.28 kilometers per second, which if we convert it to kilometers per hour, the speed that we are more familiar with it because the car uses it a lot, it would be around 1000 kilometers per hour. Speed of the sound is around 1225 kilometers per hour, which if we divide the satellite speed from the speed of the sound, we can see the telescope is now moving with a speed around 0.8 times of the sound. The telescope has 5-layer Kapton sunshields. The material that used is very thin but is very strong. The reason that they use these sunshields is that the telescope can keep its mirror very cold. In the bottom right of the screen you can see the cold side and hot side temperature of the telescope. The average room temperature is roughly 20 Celsius. If we consider in the middle of the winter, the weather is become 0 Celsius, which is a temperature that the outside of the room is cold right now and the water can freeze in this weather. And of course it depends on where are you living. Sometimes 0 degree is very cold, and for some countries like, I don't know, Canada, it's still hot. But anyway, to keep your houses about 20 Celsius in the winter with the outside temperature of 0, you have to keep the 20-degree difference in temperature. And the only reason that your room is become cold if you don't use heater is because of difference between the temperature. Right now the average temperature of hot side of telescope is 33 Celsius. And the cold side of it, it's minus 202.5, which means that the telescope is keeping 235.5 degrees Fahrenheit temperature difference between each side of it, which is based on my super accurate dumbest calculation. In this case, we have 12 times more heat transfer compared to what you are gonna see in the winter. But the interesting things here, and also it's the main challenge, is that you are using heater or something else to increase your room temperature. That means you actively add heat to your room. But here the telescope does not have anything on the other side to make the mirror cooled. Only this sunshield and the isolation layer should prevent that the heat does not move from the hot side to the cold side of the telescope. Honestly, the James Webb telescope is one of the most amazing telescopes that we have. And in the future, I'm gonna talk more about it because it's very, very interesting for me. That's it. I love you guys, and I'm gonna see you the next time.